hope the following will serve as a pseudo roadmap for xToken. Through the main goal of this document is to present our vision for XTK. The following should give a reader a sense for our priorities and goals for the projects. Finally, we want to emphasize that our top priority right now is to launch as many X assets as we possibly can. We have started to plan and build the contracts required for XTK staking, but we are still primarily focused on generating assets under management and fee revenue, as we see these objectives as more important to the long-term success of xToken. That makes sense. So they're more interested in you purchasing X1 inch or xAave or synthetics or xKybernetics than just purchasing the xToken itself. They want to see use out of these underlying assets, which makes total sense. If nobody's using it for these underlying assets that they're working with, then xToken itself has no value. What is multi-staking? Most DeFi protocols have a single use case, whether it be trading, asset management, lending, or derivatives. Naturally, most protocols tokens accrue value primarily from a single business. Example, synthetics from synthetic trading, Kyber from DEX trading, 1inch from DEX aggregation. Thus, by owning and staking a token, token holders are expressing alignment with the risk-reward profile and revenue opportunity of a single service. This is basic staking, and for most protocols, it makes perfect sense. In contrast, xToken is intent on building an ecosystem of products and services, each with their own risk-reward profile and value proposition. While we're still in the very early stages of development, we're aiming to build a multifaceted protocol, and we believe that the token holder should have optionality with respect to how they deploy their XTK and how they participate in profits of the xToken ecosystem. And this is essentially the essence of multi-staking. Stake your XTK to a specific xToken product and yield the value associated with that product or staking module alone, while taking on risks associated with that product alone. We want to emphasize that when we say product, we don't mean SNXX or XKNCA. We mean xToken management or xToken lending. Wow, that is a game changer. So you're going to be able to take the XTK you have and then put it to use in different use cases, different staking pools that have different use cases for the xToken, whether that be management or token lending or fee collection or insurance for the protocol. How does he read while swaying back and forth? They call him Rained Man. Damn it. Fuck. That's a good one, too. That was a good joke. Hey, Derelict. That's interesting. That's really interesting. So I like this. I like this. That's a very multi-staking. That's very interesting. So you'll be able to divvy up your XTK into different pools to kind of spread the risk for different optionalities. Happy holidays, Franz. Let's go. As we'll explore this later on, this emphasis on optionality extends to community use cases as well. We'll see the XTK as the currency of the xToken collective, and we'll be building products to amplify the internal status and utility of the token. The graphic below is a rough sketch of how we see the multi-staking complex developing over the next year. The figures on the left, products and services branch, are yield and rewards generating. The figures on the right, community, are collective use cases. This is really interesting. XTK multi-staking. They've got products and services over here. xToken management, xToken lending, liquidation medallions, incentivized LP. I like it. I like it. 4 different options. You can earn an income with the token. Under the community side, they've got community ledger, Xavier NFTs, and community initiatives. Very interesting. I wonder if those will have return as well. Are they going to, incentivize people to participate in the community with monetary benefit? I know that Alchemix does plan on, giving people, incentivizing people to participate in the community and not just kind of hold the token. Why multi-staking? It might make sense to briefly discuss why we are building our token model around multi-staking. It is 420, chat. We're going to take a rip in this YouTube video. You know what I'm saying? Why not just have a single staking module where fees are from all products and services are directly corrected? So what if XTK stakers can't select a specific risk reward profile? The answer is that it's more than just allowing holders to express alignment with a risk reward profile. It's about unlocking as much value for the XTK token as possible. We now have the tool set, smart contracts, and composability to explore new efficient and dynamic models of capital, and we intend to experiment. Here's a quick illustration of the importance of multi-staking. Say there are 1,000 people who would consider staking to xToken management and 1,000 people who would consider staking to xToken lending, but just 800 people who would stake to both. If we offer just one all-encompassing staking module, we're limiting our capacity base by 20%. This is dead value that we should try to unlock at any opportunity by giving stakers this optionality. We're broadening our token's use case and augmenting its value. And beyond financial efficiency, we want to be able to leverage an open design space that allows us to be creative with how our token is used. We'll discuss this more in the community section. I didn't really understand that. Say there's 1,000 people that would consider staking to xToken management and 1,000 people who would consider staking to xToken lending, but only 800 people who would stake to both. If we offer just one all-encompassing staking module, we're limiting our capital base by 20%. What does that mean? If it was all in one, wouldn't the same 2,000 people just stake all to one? I don't think that really makes sense, that part. Like, would it, if it was all into one, both 2,000 people would hop in. But if it had to be two separate pools, only 800 would do both. So you would have some variation then, right? Am I wrong there? Am I too stoned? What am I missing about that on 420? Products and services, xToken management. xToken management, our fund offering, has been the primary focus of the project so far and will remain the core offering going forward. For this staking module, the fees earned from mint, burn, and claim events will be transferred to a staking claims contract, and XTK holders will be able to lock their tokens and earn a proportion shares of fees. While the basic idea is straightforward, there's a number of details we need to work out as a community. We'll outline each decision point and our implementation recommendations below. I know, chat, this is tough. It's 420. This is getting real deep, but this is this information just came out yesterday, literally last night. This is the amazing shit that YouTube videos are built for. You know what I mean? I'm in XTK. I'm deep in XTK. I have a lot of XTK. Should we convert fees into common token or make them all available in the original form? This is a good debate. I kind of like how VeChain is a good. I like VeChain. I kind of like how Alchemix is using the fees and they're going to keep them separate. So if you earn fees in ALUSD, fees in ETH, fees in Bitcoin, they were going to keep those all separate and you would earn all of them from the Alchemix token. It seems like XTK is going to go a different direction here. Although we still offer a limited number of funds, xToken already charges fees in 6 different tokens. At the time of writing, we charge fees in Ethereum, Synthetics, USD, Kybernetics, Aave, and 1inch. And as we continue to add X assets, the variety of tokens we collect will present a UX challenge. Projects like AirSwap collect many different kinds of tokens and allow stakers to collect some share of their preferred tokens via point system. That said, most projects that collect fees and a multitude of tokens have opted to convert them to a common token and then make that common token available to claim. There are a few voices in our community who have liked the idea of giving stakers income in the tokens of projects we work with. There's certainly something to be said for that idea. However, the implementation would be inelegant and thus the UX changes would grow with each new X asset we launch. I think they should do that though. As much as they don't want to do it and it's going to cause a lot of trouble for them on the developer side, I would prefer that as a customer. I want to be earning multiple assets, and I can choose if I don't like one to sell it. You know what I mean? But I want that. Like I kind of like I would like to use XTK as almost like an ETF collector basket. You know what I mean? Where it would just collect a basket of cryptocurrencies for me. I really like that about Alchemix and the ALCX token, that it's going to collect a basket of tokens for me. But maybe we use one for the other. You know what I mean? Most projects that face similar design challenges, 1inch, Sushi Swap, Stake, or DAO come to mind, have opted for a staking model where the fees are converted to a single token and then made available to stakers. They ultimately believe that conversion to a common claim token is the superior approach for xToken as well. I'm going to voice my opinion in the Discord that I would like the underlying, whatever they do, it's not a deal breaker for me, but I would enjoy if we got the underlying assets that are coming in as fees. Given that they're converting fees to a common token, should that target token be XTK, ETH, or a stablecoin? Most projects facing a similar decision have opted for converting fees into their native token, XTK in our case. There may be an argument to provide income to stakers in an uncorrelated or less correlated asset, and we'd be open to hear that case, but for now, converting fees to XTK seems like the most logical and effective approach. I mean, if you're gonna do it in one asset, yes, I'd like it to be the X token because I believe that would be causing buybacks, right? As you're selling the other assets to gain the XTK fee, right? Should we build XTK natively or build an optional XTK solution on top of our staking project? Projects like Staker DAO, Sushi Swap, Alpha Finance have opted to build the X or equivalent version natively on their protocol. This is convenient and efficient, allowing stakers to passively hold an auto claiming and compounding instrument. However, there's potential downside in the native XXTK. For example, if we want to offer escrowed XTK rewards as an extra staking incentive as we bootstrap protocol fees, it could be problematic to distribute escrowed rewards on the communal level. For those who are familiar with the mechanics of SNX, we face similar design constraints surrounding the treatment of vested rewards. We won't go into it deeply here, but vesting rewards complicate the calculation of net asset value, the mint and burn prices of xToken. Huh. Although building XXTK natively may complicate vesting incentive rewards, we can still offer unvested XTK incentives accruing directly to investors. XXTK positions. For this reason, a few others we have described in DP4 and DP5, we plan to build XXTK natively, at least for our xToken management staking offer. Staking for lending and other services may follow a different pattern. I don't know what that means. Like it's going to be built into it, and your X token's just going to naturally accrue if you hold it. I don't fucking understand. Should we bootstrap staking early on with XTK rewards from the community treasury? Scaling X token is a bit different than scaling other DeFi protocols. Each of our X assets, X synthetics, X Aave, etc., has its own development timeline and requires some custom development work. While we're getting good at adapting old work to new strategies, we're still in the scaling stage of our protocol. As such, we believe it makes sense to incentivize early stakers with XTK rewards as we bootstrap protocol revenue. With our XToken management staking module goes live, we'll likely propose an allocation of 3 to 5% of total XTK supply to be distributed linearly to stakers over a year. Depending on the circulating supply over the course of the year, the proposal could add 15 to 30% to staking returns. If all calculating XTK are staked, and quite a bit more assuming that not all tokens are staked, and potentially even more when you consider that we'll be offering other staking modules, including xToken lending, that will attract XTK as well. Huh. What does that mean? Like stake them? Aren't they already staked? I don't know. Like, yes, I'm going to stake them. I plan on holding mine for a long time. I don't plan on selling them. I think XTK is like a really long play with the underlying assets they hold. Should we implement incentivized lockups? Do I need to read this again? I don't understand. Why would they want to incentivize staking in the community? Scaling xToken is a bit different than scaling DeFi protocols. While we're getting good at adapting old work to new strategies, we're still in the scaling stage of our protocol. As such, we believe it makes sense to incentivize early stakers with rewards as we bootstrap protocol revenue. So they want more people staked to get more assets under management, is what they're saying, and they're trying to incentivize people to keep the assets under management for longer periods of time as they kind of get the word out about it. Is that what that's saying? I'm trying to understand this as we go through it, chat. DP number 5, should we implement incentivized lockups? I'm really kind of against lockups. I like projects that don't have lockups, but I do think that XTK and holding the X tokens, like the underlying assets, are long term plays for myself. So I'm okay if they do implement lockups. Following the footsteps of Curve, many projects in DeFi have implemented incentivized lockups, their staking model. The simple idea is that token holders who are willing to lock up their tokens for longer periods of time will receive a greater share of the staking rewards. While we believe that we should reward long term supporters of the protocol, incentivized lockups add significant complexity on both the UX and contract levels. We'd like to propose a much simpler alternative inspired by the Dodo token model. We believe that a simple exit fee on our staking contracts would optimize for the same incentive at a fraction of the complexity. Here's how it worked. We'd have a configurable exit fee variable. It would start off around 2 to 4%, and through periodic community governance, we'd reduce it as yield from XTK staking incentives declined, eventually setting long term somewhere between 0.25% and 1%. When a staker wants to unstake their XTK, they would take the exit fee charge of 1%, for example, and that 1% would be immediately reallocated proportionally to the rest of the stakers in the pool. We believe this would be much easier from an implementation perspective as well as a user education perspective, while largely accomplishing the same goal of rewarding long term believers. Some holders may be apprehensive about paying an exit fee on their position when they want to unstake. To those investors, we would point out that while you're staked, you'll be earning significant incremental yield from others unstaking. That's interesting. I didn't really think about that. So there's extra yield coming in from the others that unstake and it gets redistributed. And that compounds. So that's part of the point of why it incentivizes you to stay in for as long as possible. The more people that stake and unstake in front of you helps you compound even further. That's a very interesting point that I didn't think about. The exit fee will continue to decline as the project matures. That also incentivizes people to stay in for longer. This is very interesting. If you're unsure about your investment horizon and choose not to stake, it's appropriate that those with longer term horizons should reap a greater share of the rewards. This is really quite similar to Curve's model, except in reverse with much reduced complexity. I agree with that 100%, and I'm totally down for that, other than doing a time lock. That makes complete sense to me. As we've discussed in the Discord and in a blog post, xToken lending is under development and on target to launch in Q2. We're excited about the launch as holders of X assets will be able to earn native staking returns while borrowing against their collateral. What? As it stands now, there's hundreds of millions of dollars of DeFi tokens deposited as collateral on Aave, Compound, Cream, and other platforms, sometimes earning near zero in yield. We hope users will use our platform for leverage while circumventing the opportunity costs of foregone staking returns. We'll be deploying xToken lending initiatives without XTK staking. However, shortly after launch, we deploy an upgrade that allows users to stake XTK in exchange for a slice of interest paid. Drawing inspiration from MakerDAO Aave, stakers will serve as an insurance backstop for the lending protocol. And just as we intend to bootstrap our xToken management staking model, we intend to propose an XTK allocation to bootstrap the xToken lending and staking module as well. Holy shit, they're building in so much use for this token. This thing is going to fly. I love XTK. I'm earning about 250 of these bad boys a day. A day, chat. I really like xToken. This is getting interesting. This is getting interesting. So you'll be able to get liquidity, but if you don't want the liquidity, you'll be able to lend and earn extra interest. Liquidation medallions. Uh-oh. As we know, XTK is going to be a volatile asset, as those who follow the space might be aware liquidations on lending platforms can be highly competitive, often resulting in escalating gas wars that end up benefiting miners more than liquidators themselves. We are planning a medallion system for liquidators, where medallion owners have exclusive liquidation rights, but each owner is only eligible to liquidate a loan on a certain subset of blocks. Oversimplified explanation. Medallion number 7 can only liquidate loans on blocks divisible by 7. Hmm. So how do liquidators buy a medallion? With XTK, of course, we'll be selling and buying back medallions on a bonding curve, creating a natural market for liquidation rights. What? I kind of want to play around with this. I've never liquidated somebody's account in a crash. That would be kind of fun to play the bank, right? Let's play the bank and liquidate a motherfucker, right? This is a comparatively niche use case for XTK, but we think it's a good illustration of the multi-staking concept and an opportunity to add utility to XTK. We will build it. Huh. So, very niche. Not many people use it. I'll probably use it for fun with a little bit of the funds. Incentivized LP. Since our token launch, we've been distributing XTK to liquidity providers on our select incentivized X asset pools. We're in those. We're doing this because secondary liquidity is an essential building block for xToken's long-term success to maximize returns and reduce gas cost to users. Most of the capital in our X asset contracts are locked and unavailable for redemption at any given time. We can always unlock more, sometimes immediately, sometimes over a short timeline, but we'd like to provide investors with immediate liquidity whenever they require it. In addition, we want liquidators on xToken lending to be able to immediately cash out the proceeds of liquidated collateral. Finally, buying X assets on DEXs is a lot cheaper than minting directly and often makes more sense for smaller holders. At the early stage of xToken, it makes sense to leverage external infrastructure to build out secondary liquidity and give the crucial role of secondary liquidity in our plans. We may formalize our liquidity programs on the protocol level, assuming we can find a path to value capture for the XTK token. This could mean incentivizing XTK pairs, like XTK to Synthetics A. So they might do their own swap in liquidity, like secondary liquidity plans within their own system, where instead of it being Ethereum to Aave or Ethereum to 1inch, it's going to be XTK to Aave, XTA to 1inch. That's fucking interesting. They're thinking about building in tons of utility to this fucking token. This all said, these solutions are not particularly capital efficient. It may make sense long term for us to build our own exchange framework. This potentially could mean a strict specialized DEX model modeled as a hybrid Bancor balancer where XTK would be the common pair, perhaps making up 10 to 20% of liquidity, and amplified for reduced slippage and greater volume potential. Alternatively, we could pursue a synthetics exchange framework modeled off of synthetics or similar platforms with XTK as the collateral asset, bridging different pairs. These ideas are highly speculative at this point, and we would need a lot more scale, like over 1 billion in AUM for these services to be worth building. But we wanted to include it in here in order to give our community a sense of our long-term vision. That's really interesting. So they're thinking way down the line. They're thinking way down the line. Community driving home the theme of a multi-use token. We plan to emphasize XTK as a unit of account and medium of exchange for the xToken ecosystem. Small incentives like these may not make a dent in the demand for XTK individually, but we believe that a concerted long-term focus on emphasizing our token as currency in our community will yield benefits for token holders that choose to stick around. Community ledger. We've been really energized by our core community over the first few months of xToken existence. We'd like to create a place for our early supporters and community members to enshrine themselves permanently in xToken lore. I don't know about this. Rips Bong enters chat. Rand reading white papers. Dude, this is important. This is super important news that just dropped yesterday. I don't care. It's fucking 420. This is what you make YouTube videos about. This is the important stuff coming out. We are one of the only people on YouTube making information about Alchemix, xToken, and these other things. And we've got to keep that fucking path. We have to keep coming out with new content constantly about these to stay ahead of those search queries. And this is great new information right here. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm going to get a part of the community ledger. I don't think I need to buy like a block. This is like buying a brick at our high school. Post their name or handle, a short message, a picture, or GIF. These submissions or bricks will be stored permanently on chain and displayed for posterity on xToken Cafe. But there's a little more to this idea. In order to prevent our ledger from being spammed by non-community members, there needs to be some cost to reserving a brick. And in order to reward, incentivize early adopters, the cost to reserve brick should increase after every submission. They propose an initial price per brick of perhaps 75 XTK with a 5% escalator per each submission. By brick 100, the cost to immortalize yourself in xToken mythology would be nearly 10,000 XTK. What we do with the XTK inflows, we could burn it. We could leave it in the contract for eternity. We could use it to fund some other community initiative, or we could leave in the contract and decide what to do with it later. We will discuss the idea further in the coming weeks, but we're excited about the potential for permanent xToken community ledger. Let us know what you think. Community ledger is what Robinhood's already doing with Doge. Oh my god. Xavier NFTs. What are these? Building on the success of the XTK launch challenge, we will soon be launching an NFT art contest with our mascot Xavier as the focal point. The winner will earn rights to sell 4 pieces of Xavier NFT collection to XTK token holders in exchange for $10,000 in XTK. Wait, what? That's tight. Damn, we need to make a fucking dope ass fucking Xavier NFT. When the winner is chosen and the NFTs are minted, we plan to make them available to our community and the DeFi NFT ecosystem at large, sold on a bonding curve in exchange for XTK. The beauty of the bonding curve is there are always a seller and always a buyer. It's part of the larger effort to engender and encourage a creative subculture around the xToken collective. We expect to continue to sponsor creative contests and contributions going forward. Man, this sounds like a really cool community. I don't know about you guys, but xToken sounds like it's a great fucking community. I don't know if I want the NFT. I'd be into making one and selling it, but brands into NFTs. No, I'm not. I don't. I mean, I don't. I'm not gonna lie. I bought an NFT yesterday, Mossy. I did buy an NFT yesterday. I bought 2 editions of it. I can't say what it is yet, but the chat's gonna love it. The chat's gonna love it. And all I can say this is stake with Rare Pool. Staking with Rare Pool. Staking with Rare Pool is gonna come with some rewards here in the future. Okay. One of the most exciting elements of this idea that XTK should be the internal currency of the xToken ecosystem is that the core team doesn't need to spearhead every initiative. XTK is a freely transferable token, and anyone could build utility for XTK. We'll always be open to new ideas in this realm, and they'll consider a relative grant proposal as well. But sincerely hope the community members will build cool stuff centered around XTK without our permission or direct support. Brainstorm with us, the community proposal channel in our Discord. Damn, I wonder if we should make some XTK merch. I wonder if we should make some XTK merch and then work with the community to sell it for XTK. That's pretty interesting. One of the most exciting elements of this idea is that XTK should be internal currency. Oh, we just read that. A note on token supply. Heard feedback from some members of our community that our 1 billion max XTK is too high or we need to be burned. We understand that the fully diluted supply can be intimidating. However, we feel that a modification to our distribution schedule just weeks after announcing it would send the wrong message to our community and potentially hamstring future efforts. We're happy to continue the conversation in the Tokenomics channel in our Discord. I don't think burning tokens is right. We've decided to allocate developer hours towards building new xToken products, focusing less on the token model and governance. However, as we move into spring and summer, we'll be placing a large emphasis on XTK and its utility in our ecosystem. This post is just the starting point, and we look forward to engaging with our enthusiastic community on the path forward. Thanks for reading. I think that's very, very interesting. I hope they don't do a token burn or anything like that. I really like the xToken community. I am in. You can earn some extreme rewards over here. If you're in here, you're getting, on Aave 339%, 287%, 230%, xInch 355%, 360%. On xToken itself, you're getting 191%. Staking to the liquidity pools on holding these. This is such a new project that's been out since February. I think it's going to blow up. There's a lot of real use case behind what it's doing, and this community is definitely growing over here. The rewards have gone down considerably since we first found the project, and that's okay. That means a lot of people are getting in. I think people should definitely check it out, and that'll make us a quality YouTube video right there. You know what I mean? Thank you for watching the YouTube videos. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, comment down below, help us out with the YouTube algorithms, and we're live 5 days a week on Twitch, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. EST. Come check us out. Thanks for watching.